Blessings, friends. It's Maya here with an Astro update. Today, February 1st, on Imbolc, we have a full moon in the loyal, charismatic, generous, and confident sign of Leo at 13 degrees. Those of you who have planets in the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, or planetary placements in your natal chart around 13 degrees, will likely feel the effects of this full moon the most. A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other in the sky, creating a tension peak coming to fruition or culmination point. On a positive level, this lunation can be expressive, celebratory, proud, brave, optimistic, and energetic. On a challenging level, this lunation can be stubborn, egoic, overly prideful, inflexible, or bossy. You can look back to the Leo new moon during July of 2025 to see what themes occurred then that are coming to a culmination point now. Leo generally highlights themes of creativity, self-expression, leaders, romance, dating, sex, children, joy, celebrations, hobbies, entertainment, and small businesses. We may see some of these themes highlighted in our individual life and or the collective at this time. The ruler of this lunation is the sun, representing our vitality and core energy. The sun is in a stellium with Venus, Mercury, Mars, and Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, opposing the moon. This is the axis of creativity and love, the Aquarius-Leo axis, and we have the opportunity to take bold steps out of bravery, self-expression, and the heart of the lion at this time, for greater love and creativity of self, and or love and greater creativity for the collective. A full moon in Leo asks us what area of our lives our heart is truly in on, and what areas it's not. How can we consciously reassess matters of our heart at this time for greater freedom? Venus, the planet of relationships and harmony, as well as Mercury, the planet of communication, are still under the sun's beams, showing that relationships and communicational aspects may be hidden or will still take some time to come to the light with greater clarity. However, Venus and Mercury under the sun's rays show we're still going through a transitionary phase or rebirth in regards to our relationships, beauty, money, and communicating, as we await for them to separate themselves from this position. Mars, the planet of action and warrior-like energy, is conjunct Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation in Aquarius. This can show there may be an obsessive action, drive, or transformation taking place in the Aquarius house of our natal chart. The energy of a Leo full moon opposing a stellium in Aquarius is prepping us for the Aquarian eclipse happening February 17th. A buildup of planets in Aquarius opposing this Leo moon can ask us what area of our life calls for freedom through rebellion, and how we can take a bold decision from the warmth of our heart for soulful progression and evolution. What area of life will this full moon in Leo be happening for you based upon your rising sign? For Leo rising, this full moon is happening in your first house. This could be a culmination point having to do with yourself, your identity, your physical body, outward appearance, and new endeavors. For Virgo rising, this full moon is happening in your 12th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with the hidden arenas of life. So this could be your subconscious programming, self-undoings, spirituality, mysticism, jails and hospitals, as well as retreats, ashrams, the imagination, and the mystical arts. For Libra rising, this full moon will be happening in your 11th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with large groups of people, friends, friendships, networks, organizations, as well as networking and future hopes and wishes. For Scorpio rising, this full moon will be happening in your 10th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with your career, public status, image, leadership, authority, parental figures, as well as achievement and notoriety. For Sagittarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 9th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with higher education, long-distance travel, morals, philosophy, government institutions, as well as publishing and teaching. For Capricorn rising, this full moon will be happening in your 8th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with shared money, shared resources, investments, inheritances, taxes, loans, the occult, psychology, as well as deep bonds. For Aquarius rising, this full moon will be happening in your 7th house. This could be a culmination point having to do with personal relationships, business relationships, marriages, contracts, negotiations, agreements, collaborations, and legal documents. For Pisces rising, this full moon will be happening in your 6th house. This could be a culmination point around your health and work, daily routine, job, employment, coworkers, pets and animals, as well as organization. For Aries rising, this full moon will be happening in your 5th house. This could be a culmination point around your creativity, self-expression, children, romance, dating, hobbies, entertainment, and small businesses. For Taurus rising, this full moon will be happening in your 4th house. This could be a culmination point around your home life, family life, property, real estate, emotional security, inner safety, as well as ancestral roots and tradition. For Gemini rising, this full moon will be happening in your 3rd house. This could be a culmination point having to do with your communication styles, how you think and speak, local travel, community, neighborhood, vehicles, short form learning and writing projects, as well as extended family and siblings. And last but not least, for Cancer rising, this full moon will be happening in your second house. This could be a culmination point having to do with personal resources, income, how you make money, saving, earning, and spending, physical material possessions, as well as your self worth and self esteem. Full moon in Leo, blessings to you all.